Welcome back to the Morning Blend. If you've ever looked for a job, then you know the importance of business savvy, education, experience, all those things. But have you ever heard of verbal fluency? Turns out it's the secret to getting ahead. But what does that mean exactly? Is it something that you're born with? Either you got it or you don't, or is it something you can actually learn? Why does an A in verbal fluency add up to big success later on?
I don't know, but I think the verbal fluency is the opposit of verbal diarrhea, which a lot of people have. So Amanda Goralski knows how to talk to people. She's a career coach and founder of the online magazine bizme.biz. She's here with more on how to get ahead in today's high-tech world and be good at verbal fluency. Good morning.
Absolutely, and you ladies are pros.
Thanks, Amanda.
Some mornings.
So are you.
Depends on the day.
And how awake you are, right?
Yes.
Exactly. What is verbal fluency for people who've never heard that expression before?
Well, it's just the ability to actually carry on a conversation with someone, and more than just, hi, how are you? How's your day going? You know, it's really engaging in the conversation, and when that person walks away or when you walk away, you've got a good feeling inside, like, I just made a great connection. I want to do business with that person. I could see them as a friend. I want to hang out with them. It's more than just the typical, hey, how's the day going?
So how do we achieve it? I guess that's the question, because some people do have a hard time talking to those that they don't know. Are there ways to achieve it? I know you've got some steps that people can sort of achieve to be good at schmoozing, because verbal fluency leads you into kind of schmoozing with people, right?
Oh, absolutely. But just like anything that we're not good at, what do? We don't really work on it because it's out of our comfort zone. So I always encourage people, when you're standing at Starbucks or you're at Target and the line is long, turn around or, you know, talk to the person in front of you, because practice makes perfect in everything that we do. Whether you're uncomfortable doing it or not, I promise you, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And the next time you go to a networking meeting, you're going to be able to just schmooze with everyone because you've practiced.
You'll mingle your way through the room.
Yeah, don't you think that can be hard, though? Because I think in today's digital world, it's hard to start random conversations with people because we're all so busy. We're on our phone constantly. We're doing things like that where we don't really invite people in to talk to us when we're running around.
Oh, absolutely. It is challenging, but then you have to just force yourself to do it. And you might get rejected a couple times. Someone might give you a weird look like, what are you doing? I'm just standing in line. I'm sending an email or whatever. But again, the more you do it, the more easier it becomes for you. And then you feel comfortable when someone does reject you, that you could say, hey, you know what? I'm just having a really good day. I was hoping to make your day a little bit brighter, but I see that you're busy. I apologize. You know, but then all of a sudden you get used to getting rejected, having a follow-up, and now that person might say, you know what? I'm actually sorry. You're right. I'm having a really great day. I just found out this news, whatever the case may be, and then the conversation starts.
Well, and the point is that it makes a difference, because there's this Stanford University study that you sent to us, and that people with their grade point average, for example, and possibly even an advanced degree, has little to do with career success, whereas the ability to talk to people is the primary predictor of success. So people who maybe aren't so good at it are thinking, okay, so how do I start schmoozing better? And their first tip is breaking in and breaking through. And you have some examples, because the very hardest part, I think, for people is sometimes the just getting started doing it.
Oh, absolutely. And when you're at a networking meeting, it's incredibly intimidating to walk in there when you're by yourself and you've never done it before, and you see hundreds of people and you're wondering, oh my gosh, how am I actually going to talk to someone? What I like to say is, especially if there's a group that you're like, okay, I want to go and talk to that group, like, stand back and observe who is the person that's dominating the conversation, because they're the most comfortable in that group setting. And then most of us are right-handed, so approach that person on the right, because we always tend to open up to the right. And so then that kind of invites that person in, and then just start by saying, hi, I'm Amanda. You know, I'm really excited about this event. How is everyone doing this evening? And then they'll all go around and say, oh, I'm Molly, I'm Tiffany, all of that. And then you can just start talking, whether it's about the weather. Oh my God, it's freezing again today. We had 86 on Sunday. Did you have a great weekend? You know, things that are very casual that everybody has an answer for.
Because I think that's where people get intimidated. They think, oh, I've got to have this perfect elevator pitch. But you say it's really, once you do that, then keep it going. Keep that energy going.
I mean, everyone should really have an elevator pitch that talks about what they do, that's very clearly defined, so that when you do walk away, people know, okay, Amanda's a career coach. Amanda also runs an online magazine. You know, they understand what I do, so that when they're thinking about their network, they can say, okay, I can match her with these people. But again, practice makes perfect, and talking about sports, the NFL lockout, whether or not you like football, you're going to have an opinion, whether I hate football. Okay, well, so do I. What's your favorite sport to watch? You know, it can lead into other things, but the most important thing, I think, is actually really listening to someone.
Well, yeah, and that's where you get into keeping it going. Observe, ask, reveal. Think of OR, O-A-R. Observe, ask, reveal.
Yes.
So do some listening.
Absolutely. Listening is probably the top factor. Just because you want to make sure that when you're carrying on that conversation, you actually know what they said to you. You know, if they said something intriguing like, oh, my family this summer is planning a trip to Florida. Oh my God, I've been to Florida 6 times. Have you guys ever gone before? And they're like, no, it's our first time. You have to see this and this and this. You know, then again, I'm helping you. I'm giving you some advice on where you should go. But you know that I actually care. You know, I want you to have fun. I'm excited for you. And now you've also touched on something that's personal that then you can follow up later in a thank you email or something like that. Like, have a blast in Disney World. I can't wait to hear all about it.
That's a good way to follow up. I like that. I like that tip. And you say one thing that you need to do is, yes, interject some too, because you don't want to just sit there and ask questions and be the inquisitor.
Right. It's not an interview. I don't want to fire off 20 questions because then you're not engaged in a conversation at all. I mean, it's just like sitting down right now. I'm learning stuff about you. You're learning stuff about me. And if there's a connection, great. Let's make it work. Let's meet for a one-on-one, get some coffee, and hear a little bit more about our businesses.
And does the subject matter?
It's kind of hard to say, isn't it? Does the subject matter? Yes and no. I mean, again, you're just looking for that instant connection.
So small talk is okay? Like you said, the
Absolutely.
weather. I mean, I heard once that's like the most common thing people talk about on a first date or in first meeting someone.
People are obsessed with the weather. Everybody loves to talk about
It's
it,
easy.
especially in Wisconsin, and that's just it. It's easy. Everybody has an opinion on it, and you're not walking away thinking, ooh, they took this side, or they've got this view. I don't know if I can do business with them. It's such a neutral topic that it doesn't matter whether you love the cold, you hate the cold, or you love 80-degree and humid, or I don't. You know, you can find that common bond, and you can keep the conversation going.
One thing you said earlier, so you said, you know, approach someone on their right because they open up to their right. And that kind of makes me think of your 4th tip, which is, you know, watch your body language. How important is that?
Okay, well, look at this. If I was talking to you guys and I was like, yeah, it's great. Yep, really care. You'd be like, okay, where is she looking? Where is she going?
Yeah, I don't like when you're talking to someone and they're looking at like who they're going to hook up with next.
And they're looking over your shoulder.
And that's exactly what it makes you feel like, that you are completely unimportant. They do not care what you say. You could say, hey, my nephew is 7 weeks and he's already reading. Yep, that's awesome. Wow, great. So make sure that you really, you know, you're looking at someone in the eye. You're really in that moment and you're giving them the time that everyone deserves. If you're done with the conversation and you did see someone across the room that you've been wanting to talk to, just say, Molly, it was really great connecting with you. I'd love a business card and I'd love to follow up with you later.
And just really quick, get out while the getting's good, because we ran out of time. But I think your point here is interesting. Even if the conversation is going good, you know, you're there to mingle. So move on, and you say walk far enough away from the person, about a quarter of the room. That way it doesn't look like you're bored with the conversation, just kind of turning your back to them. Right? Okay.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, keep mingling. I think that's key. Okay, so here's Amanda's information so that you can get in touch with her. Again, she's a career coach and wrote this online magazine, bizme.biz. You can find her there. She's got a lot of great articles on her magazine. Great talking to you.
Thank you, ladies.
Get out there and schmooze.
Yeah, schmooze it up.
It works. It works. I promise. Do it.
Still ahead on the show, a more efficient